After 2.5 months in Fiji, we sailed the 1600 nautical miles back to Australia in 8 days. The cyclone season starts on the 1st of November for insurance companies, so we started to look for a weather window, and one came up in early October, so we took it. Ideally, we would have spent another 2 or 3 weeks in our beautiful, lovable Fiji, but we've learnt that if a good weather window comes up and you're ready, you just take it.
Pretty nice.
Australia counted our days at sea and let us finish quarantine on our boat at Southport, which was fantastic. We then took our boat to the boatworks at Coomera, so we had a great place to leave it while I did some pharmacy work and Russ helped his son do a massive renovation of his home. We also wanted to do some boat jobs and haul out, so boatworks was great for both of those. Our plan was to sail around Australia clockwise, which is 7,500 nautical miles. We planned to leave early January, but this was delayed for various reasons.
It's broken and we just touched it and...
We talked to a lot of people about whether we should go around Australia clockwise or anti-clockwise, and we decided to go clockwise for 2 reasons. Firstly, in summer the highs are low over the Bight, which means you can have following winds right across the Bight. And secondly, we could leave earlier rather than wait till the 1st of May to get into cyclone season on the Queensland coast. We knew we had to get to Esperance by the end of March, so leaving on the 12th of February from the Gold Coast didn't give us long. We knew we had to make a beeline for Esperance and not stop unless we needed to for weather or provisions or for a rest. We finally got ready to leave on the 12th of February. Weather down the east coast is tricky at this time of year, but a chance came where we could make the 160 nautical miles to Coffs Harbour.
Day of our trip around Australia. Who knows what adventures we'll be up to? Who knows where we'll get to? Let's pull this anchor up and get on our way.
So it looks like Keith must have had a big night last night, but I'm sure he'll catch up with us, pass us later on the day. Here we are approaching the Gold Coast Seaway. Russ has got his fishing rods ready for a fishing competition with Keith, as always.
Well, we're about 15 nautical miles off Cabarita, cruising along with 7.5 knots, and massive algae bloom, I guess it is. I think it's from coral spore and plankton and that, just drifting along there. Really thick, looks horrible. Just going past the most easterly point in Australia on our round Australia trip, so that's one down. Right out. Let's get it.
Where we ended up having to wait for 10 days for another window to get to Sydney, which is a distance of 230 nautical miles.
Looks like we have a window coming on Wednesday.
We only had to wait 1 day in Sydney before we could leave for Eden, another distance of 220 nautical miles.
Which would be pretty good for us. I'm not quite sure about the Victorian border closures yet, but at this stage...
From Eden, we wanted to go all the way to South Australia and avoid stopping in Victoria, because at this stage, if we stopped in Victoria, we wouldn't be able to get into Western Australia.
We come across to King Island in Bass Strait, because King Island is part of Tasmania, and from there we wait for the weather and make our way straight to South Australia. We're hoping to go straight through to Port Lincoln and then make our way around here to wait for the a weather window, which is about 4 days, to get ourselves all the way across the Bight to Esperance. Yes, so every morning, my lovely wife with a big queenfish we caught, every morning we get on to Windy, and we've opened that up. You can see there at Coffs Harbour, currently the wind's at 6 knots sou'easter, which is not very good to move. Down the bottom here we can slide it along, and we can see that Saturday, Sunday, still sou'wester, still southerly, Monday, westerly on Tuesday, southwest on Tuesday, and now on Wednesday. There's a distinct possibility on Wednesday, yes. So probably around lunchtime on Wednesday, at this stage, we'd be able to leave, and then you could see by Thursday lunchtime we would be down at probably Newcastle, maybe even Gosford, Port Stephens. You see 19 knot nor'easter there, so that'd be right behind us. Friday lunchtime we'd be down Wollongong, and Saturday lunchtime we'd be all the way down to Eden. Pull in there, it's a good safe harbour, we've checked it out, and then you can see it turn southerly. It looks like we'd have to wait there for a couple of days to get the weather to go around. So we do that, I think Windy updates every 4 hours now, every 6 hours. We would do that every 6 hours. The weather in Coffs Harbour continues. We've got more southerlies. Sea has settled down a lot. It was 3 to 5 metres. It's now sort of 2 to 3 metres. Good for body surfing. Keith and I and the kids have been having a great time doing that. I'm getting a bit tired of the rain. It's been going now for a week. Looking like Wednesday we may be able to go.
You feel so far away, though you're close. Where's your mind at? I wanna know. A penny for your thoughts. I wanna know what's inside that heart of yours. Ooh, I feel paper thin. Ooh, when will you let me in? Do you let anyone get under your skin? You play it cool, but
So we did leave Coffs Harbour on the Wednesday. We had a 30-hour sail with the winds behind us and slight seas, and made our way in here through Sydney Heads, where we pulled up at Jervis Bay, and we only had to wait 1 day before we were off again. Oh, here we are, Sydney Harbour, Sydney, Australia. Settled in for a day or two. There's my mate over there. He's wanting to go for a walk on the beach. Left Sydney this morning. Motor sailing at the moment, heading down towards Eden. With sea conditions flat as you can see, and we're waiting for a northerly to kick in around about lunchtime today. It's about 9 o'clock at the moment. We've had a little bit of breeze. Well, we can get the Genoa up fairly tight, about 40 degrees. But 2 or 3 hours from Eden. They're beautiful sea conditions. Wow, what a day. 30 odd hours from Sydney, and now made our way down to Eden on our trip around Australia. And just have a look at the conditions. It just doesn't get any better. Maybe a little more wind on the beam, but that'll be good. There's our mate Zatara out there. Quite a spectacular little spot, Eden. Anchored in here to get out of the southerly for a few days. Go for a walk and a swim. Looks quite nice. Taking the garbage. It's great footage. Jump in, Margie.
Oh, did you get the one downstairs?
Yeah.
The one down in the other bathroom?
No, I didn't. All sorts of spots to pull up and get ashore. Some a little bit trickier than some. You know, big set of steps. Throw her up there, keep it short so it doesn't wash onto the rocks. Now go and find where Margie went. I think the whale museum's over here. It'll be quite interesting. Looks like it's a pretty active dock.
Very low key.
Wow.
The Whaling Museum in Eden is worth seeing even if you dislike the whole idea of whaling. Old Tom's skeleton is here. He was well known to the Eden whalers for herding their target animals in the bay. It also talks about amazing interactions between Old Tom and the whalers. The story tells of how Old Tom circled in the water where a whaler was underwater after being thrown from his boat.
You can just imagine being out in the water, rough seas and whales circling everywhere, and paddling along or rowing in this boat. Whew, such a beautiful morning this morning. Margie and I are going to go for a walk along the beach and around the mountains. Check out lots and lots of bellbirds over there.
There is a life I lead in this city.
Like a mirror today.
Hurrying to cut my
Spectacular.
teeth. I can take what I need to get by.
Get this dinghy in the water.
Doesn't make it easy.
Get going.
The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. The feeling is all gone. The feeling is all gone. If I could take you back to my youth, show you what I wish I knew. My will is strong with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately. The other ring on my wrist is gold, pairing with the light it holds. When I return from my skin and bone, I'm remembering the words you told me. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
Nice for a snorkel down there. So many fish in there.
I think that must be Quarantine Bay. That lady at the bottom is What'd you get, Russ? Oh, yum. Just the one?
Just the one.
Not bad. Surfer.
Ask him to get on over there. water's cool, the waves are small, there's sharks about, but this girl knows how to have fun.